Welcome to Boxing on the Record with Shot-Time and Randy. Shot-Time, what's going on with you today, man? What's on your mind? What you want to get off your mind and put on the record?
Man, Randy, you know what? I gotta tell you first. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you taking this time. I had got some information. I was like, oh, let me get Randy real quick. We need to put this on the record. But I know this is the time when you be watching Colombo and doing what you got to do with your Colombo fellowship. So I just feel honored that you decided to break away for just this quick second, so we can go ahead and get this on the record. So I ain't even gonna take much of your time. I'm gonna let you get back to your Colombo and enjoy your time over there, man. I received some information, man, that ESPN reported that they spoke with the Golden Boy president, Eric Gomez, and they also spoke with Eddie Hearn as well. And they stated that what Golden Boy is looking at doing and what Eddie Hearn wants to happen as well from Matchroom, which, everything will be on the zone, is for a fight between Virgil Ortiz and Virgil Ortiz and Boots Ennis in the first quarter of 2026. Which is obviously, this is the fight that we've been asking for several years when it was at 147, but it actually put a lot more things in perspective. We know that this upcoming fight with Boots against Lima Saturday night is a showcase fight for Boots at 154. And then Virgil himself has a fight on November the 8th against Erickson Lubin, which is not going to be just a walk in the park type of fight. But what it does is it puts those two fights in perspective now. These are fights that are basically leading up to them, hopefully, fighting each other, but they both have to win their fight. And so I definitely wanted to get at you about that, Randy. Now knowing that's more of the direction that they're trying to go with this, it does make me a little bit more concerned about Boots taking some time out to go and be a sparring partner with Canelo just before this fight to help Canelo prepare for the Bud fight. When in Boots's head, I'm assuming his promoters had already told him they want to make that fight against Virgil next year. So you got to really, put on a show in your showcase fight, not just show up at 154. You need to put on a show so you can get the world behind this, so that can be a big mega fight to everyone. So I felt that even more so. I feel more strongly, that he shouldn't have went to Canelo and tried to join his camp to do anything, and just simply focus on, this is my chance, this is my thing. Let me do, like, sort of like what Bud had done. Let me just do what I got to do. Let me just keep focusing on this so that people can know who I really am. At my breakout or my debut fight at 54, people are going to be really excited about me. Then a few weeks later, when they see Ortiz fight, if he wins, they're going to say, yes, 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 we want that fight. We'll build bigger buzz. And so that's how I feel Boots should have been thinking. He should now, if he hadn't, should now be thinking like that more than ever. And I also want to say that the fight between Lubin and Ortiz is for Ortiz's interim IBF belt. IBF, I think, super middleweight, I'm sorry, super welterweight, junior middleweight, whatever you want to call it, belt. So, and again, it's interim, but again, that still puts a little bit more worth on that type of fight between him and Boots, should he get past Lubin. Talk to me, Randy.
Well, Shy, you know really how I feel about this, man. And I know I'm gonna get some backlash. I know some people gonna start calling me a hater. I know some people gonna just blow me out the water with this. But I feel like with a move like that, Boots got to be a Crawford hater. And the reason why I say that is because why would you take time out of your camp to go train with somebody or spar with somebody? And first of all, you're not even a sparring partner. You don't reach the status beyond that. You don't find champions going to spar with nobody because they're no longer sparring partners. So what would be the reason for him to go and train with Canelo if he got a fight coming up, if he just don't like Crawford? He want to see him lose so bad because everybody say he's the mirror image of Crawford and he's just like Crawford and he the only one probably can beat Crawford, this, that, and the third. And the opposite could be true also. Crawford hater. then we got to look at it as if this guy, Lima, is just another cherry pick. Because I don't see you taking time out of your camp to go help somebody, first of all. So is we missing something here where this guy Lima is not a threat at all? He's not worthy to be in the ring because we know fighters don't look over other fighters at all. They don't look over them. You can sit down with any fighter if he got a fight coming up and we think it's an easy fight. He still say, I got to get past this guy first. So why is he so disrespectful to this guy Lima? Is this a guaranteed win for him, or he just hate Crawford so much? But I will say this with closing, and I'm giving that to you. I will say this: if he don't give us a stellar performance, we're coming back to talk about this because at the end of the day, he shouldn't tote this guy 12 rounds. He should get in there and get him out of there and handle business. What say you?
Man, Randy, man, you said a lot, bro. You said a lot of heavy stuff, man. And with Boots being my favorite fighter, man, I was getting a little antsy over here, man. I was uncomfortable. I wasn't liking what I was hearing. I was all up in my feelings, man. I went to the back, started looking for the shotgun, man. I was like, okay, we about to go down here, see what Randy on for real, for real. But when it comes to this thing about boxing, we can feel a certain way. We can get these emotional things, but we have to remember the sport is above every single last thing. And what you stated, no matter how uncomfortable it is for people to hear, I think what you said was true. Very true. We can't say 100% that Lima is a soft touch or any of those types of things. We can say that we know from boxing's history that when a person's going to another division or debuting at a particular division, they usually get a softer touch. They come in a little bit, as a softer touch, which is basically a showcase. I always call it a showcase fight. That's, I think, how it used to be called. They may call it something different now. And a lot of times before they get ready to fight a major fighter, they get a soft touch as well. And a lot of times after they win some kind of major championship and went through all these different hard fights, they get a soft touch as well. And so in our minds, with a Boots debuting at 54 in this particular fight, just from boxing history alone, we automatically know, or we feel like it's a showcase fight. But then what after that? After that, what do we also know? We know how boxers' mannerisms are, how their character is when it comes to getting ready to fight another person. And exactly like you said, we don't know if this is a cherry pick on run. We don't know how Boots, is acting, thinking on paper, but his mannerisms, his actions are presenting to us that he thinks Lima is a no threat. He's literally nobody. Like, he's fighting against a third grader. So I can go ahead and go over here and do this with Canelo. I can do that. But not only that, maybe he thinks Lima is somewhat a challenge, but he himself thinks he's just so much above everybody else that he can still do this. I'm still unstoppable. I'm still one of the greatest. So I'm a cat that don't even really need to take this fight seriously. I don't need to train as hard. I don't need to do anything. It's like, I'm still gonna go in and do my thing. So either way, it's bad for me because we watched him in 30-something fights. And it's sad to say, but the rest of the world still doesn't know who Boots is. So that lets us know you are not doing anything. You're not doing something right. Forget all the excuses of promotions. That could be an issue. All the excuses of this is this. But one of the biggest things, especially for casual fans, they want something, quote unquote, exciting, And for him, which we do know, he does have pop in both hands on things, but he's fighting, he's only had about 4, maybe 5 stellar, opponents that really kind of create some challenge that he really rose to the occasion for. But many of the other ones, it's just like, okay, you're just beating somebody out here. These fans or these casual fans, they want a truly exciting fight. They want to see you knock somebody out 30 seconds in the first round if you're that tight of a fighter and all these things. And when he's not able to do that and he carries certain fighters all the way through and he's getting hit, by some of these other fighters doing all that stuff, people aren't really, they're not turned on by that. They're not tuned in. And sort of like Shakur, you always have an excuse of why you didn't, do this with this person, or why you didn't do that with this person. I wanted to get the fans what they were. Oh, it's always something silly. This is your chance to lock in so the fans can be really excited about it. Then look at what Virgil Ortiz is going to do, because one thing about Virgil is he is a straight. I'm an all action fighter. What he lacks in technique, what he lacks in discipline, he makes up for it in just, coming in with his head down, raging bull, and just constantly swinging, and fans like that, regardless of his level, his ability. He's not on Boots' level when it comes to technical boxing at all on the thing. But Virgil does come in blood, sweat, and tears each time. So Boots, give something, that the fans can really get excited about, because they know that Virgil's going to do something that's going to be exciting, and that's going to lead, if he does win, that'll lead to you guys fighting, next year. But even, yeah, so anyway, I don't want to go further than that, because, after Virgil, there's still other fights, in that division that are not easy, So you have to be exciting so that we can really believe in you at 154 and just believe that you are the king, because that is his word, that he is the man at 154. He's going to be the man. Ain't nobody going to even come close to him. Well, show us this stuff. Not taking the time to train properly, in my opinion. He possibly could have trained properly, could have been trained for a year. We don't know. And wouldn't need some time off. I don't know. Just saying that. But jumping into Canelo's camp, which ain't going to do anything. Canelo never asked for you. That's what causes problems for us. It's not even about him going in and training in Canelo's camp and being the sparring partner, like you stated. It's the fact that you pick the phone and beg this man to come in. Who does that? Especially if you're supposed to be at that time. And then doing that with him, what is that going to do to help you with, quote unquote, this Lima fight, help you with this Virgil fight, or anything, moving up? I don't see the logic behind that, man. I don't. Unless you are, like you said, a straight Bud hater. I mean, how else can we look at it, man? It's not easy to hear. I'm a Bud fan as well. But it's just like, I don't know. I don't know what's getting into you, Boots, or what has gotten into you. But you definitely better show up. You better show out tomorrow. Otherwise, this is going, you're getting drugged. You're getting all the way drugged. Time out for all the excuses, You can't have a 30 and something record and still just be, looking, mediocre, or fighting against so-called mediocre talent, and all of your mediocre talent fights, go the distance, or you knock them out after 7-8 rounds, but they still hit you, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. So, anyways, yeah, the Boots he has the talent to be an elite fighter, but he's not who he thinks he is right now. Go ahead, bro.
Well, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna close mine out, and you can come behind me. If not, we're gonna take it to the house. Um, you said something that triggered something in me when I was listening to you, because you was cooking with grease then, and I was really enjoying that. I was almost like I was listening to a podcast from somebody else. But anyway, we'll talk about that another day. But you was talking about how we getting a soft touch, how Boots getting a soft touch, and you definitely understand it, because we're advocates of being introduced to the division before you actually get in and have to perform. We
Absolutely.
strong
Absolutely.
advocates of that. The new age is is trying to do something different, but I will always believe in that, because there are few fighters that can do that without a introduction. So I said that to say, so many people compare Boots to Crawford, and they still comparing Boots to Crawford. So many people say Boots can beat Crawford, and they still saying Boots can beat Crawford. But then they're not really listening to what they're saying, or they're not really believing what they're saying, because sometimes you just got to look at the pudding, because the proof is in the pudding. When you think about it, if Boots is as bad as people want him to be, and bad as they say he is, why is he taking a tune-up fight, just moving up one division, being introduced to the division? Crawford would have went up from 47 straight to 68 if they hadn't wanted him to take that stop along the way at 54 just to see how he was going to do before he
True.
went there. That tells you right there,
True.
there are few people that can do that. Floyd Mayweather wasn't even able to move up that many weight classes. Not saying that he couldn't have, but he didn't move up that many weight classes and
True.
perform on the level that Crawford performed on. Without a tune-up fight in that division, he dominated that man as if he was there and he had been fighting the whole time to reach the top of the throne, and Canelo was coming to dethrone him. So Boots coming out of the division where we haven't seen Boots do anything. I don't know if you have, and that might spark something with you when you grab it back before we close. But I haven't really seen Boots perform on the level that we're expecting him to perform on, or on the level that we've said he's performing on. I haven't seen it yet. So is Boots really as good as we say what they say he is, or have somebody sold us a bill of goods? What say you?
Man, outstanding, Randy. Outstanding. Really, the only other thing that I would throw in as a comparison of, I mean, there's many boxers that we feel in the past that had just wasted their talent, by doing these things. In more recent time, it kind of reminds me, and we don't want to talk about this cat too much. Well, we don't even really want to talk about cat because that's not even what we focus on, but people can't not talk about for whatever reason. Um, Tank, and I just want to say just very quickly, we saw his talent. We understood his talent when he was younger, in his 20s, and all these things. So we really went off that hope. And then he just still never rose to occasion because however they desired, I'm sorry, to put different opponents with him and set it up, they wanted to keep that illusion going. This almost seems like that's a path that Boots is going down. That's why it's like we have not seen him transform into that individual that we believed he would be. What 7 years ago, all these different things when we saw all of that beautiful talent, we haven't seen it happen, and we've allowed all these other excuses to occur. All promotion issues, nobody wants to fight him, none of this. But then when you do get the opportunity, you ain't doing much with it. And so I really hope that things turn around for him. I really do, bro. But we'll see this weekend, man. We'll see Saturday, and then hopefully, if Virgil, I don't say hopefully because I do like Lubin as well. But if Virgil wins in November, then we can really see what it is. Next year if they do make that fight between the two of them. So yeah, well said, bro. Well said. We on the same page. That's all I got on it.
With that being said, we're out of here like last year.
Peace.